Whoa, whoa, oh my gosh. Good evening, everyone, from Disney Springs. Today we're going to attempt, these attempt questions are tough, attempt to answer another extremely difficult question about Walt Disney World. How many days do you need for a vacation here? Oh my gosh, it's such a common question, and it is a tough one. It's a specific one for you, only you know the best answer for you, but today I'm going to give you a few of my thoughts to make that decision a little bit easier. Now, I decided to make this video at Disney Springs for a very specific reason. There is so much more to Walt Disney World than just the 4 theme parks, but I'm going to break down this video into different sections so that if you're only interested in the theme parks, you know how many days you need. If you want to see much more than the theme parks, you'll have time for that too. So just thinking about how much time you need to see as much as you want to see. Now let's get the obvious out of the way first. I've been coming to Walt Disney World since before I was born, and I have not done everything. I know, it's hard to imagine. I've been coming for years, I've been vacationing, and now I have lived here for 5 months, and I have still not seen and done everything. And hopefully one day, but the thing is, by the time we get to that point where we have seen and done everything, there will be new things to do. There will be new things to experience. So the reality is there's no way to see and do everything. You gotta prioritize what you want to see and do, and then you plan around that. Now, if you just want to focus on the parks, and I can totally understand if you're only focused on the parks, don't want to see Disney Springs, resorts, no problem. Just want to see those parks, go on those top tier attractions. You want to just do those things and then call it a day. If that's what you want to do, if that's what you want, how you want a vacation, can you do it in 4 days? Yes, you can. You can. You absolutely can. You've got to plan it out exactly with fast passes, knowing which park on which day has extra magic hours. You've got to plan that out, but you can accomplish it all in 4 days. Now, that being said, do I recommend doing Disney World in 4 days? No, I don't. No, I do not. I recommend taking much more time than that. But if you're looking for the minimum number of days possible, is it possible to do some of those top tiers? I'm not saying everything, but top tier attractions in 4 days? Yes, it is. Anything less than that, it will be difficult. Is it possible to do most of the top tiers in 2 days? 3 maybe, 2. It would be tough, extremely tough. But I think 4, you're going to be a little bit more comfortable. Now, one note, if you are thinking about the minimum number of days possible and you're saying, okay, I can do it in 3 or 4 days, Michael, I can accomplish those top tier attractions, don't forget about the dining experiences, the merchandise, the shopping, the other things you want to see and experience. Make sure those are not on the list, because if those are on the list in 3 or 4 days, I think it would be a little rushed. That's my opinion. Now, if you're looking to expand beyond the parks, you really want to experience some of that merchandise, want to do some character meet and greets, maybe a few nice dining experiences, see some of those resorts. If that's your plan, on average, I like to recommend somewhere between 5 and 7 days at Walt Disney World. And you're saying to yourself, Michael, with Epcot, for example, kind of going on a renovation right now and fewer things to do there, do I really need more than 1 day at Epcot, just as an example? At the moment, probably not. Probably not, but Hollywood Studios is huge now. It used to be a half-day park. Now it almost takes more than 1 day. I mean, if you want to go on, at the moment, Rise of Resistance, Smuggler's Run, Slinky Dog Dash, Tower of Terror, Rock and Roller Coaster, if you want to hit all these prime attractions, you may need more than 2 days, because the lines could be long depending on the time of year. Again, this does come down to the time of year, depending on the number of days. That's why I say 5 to 7. If you're coming the week of Christmas, then 7, but if you're coming when it's a little bit lower crowds, you could do it in 5. You absolutely could. So you want to weigh those things out, but that gives you just a little bit more flexibility for the shopping, for the dining, and for those other experiences that you want to have. Maybe you don't need the top tier. Maybe you don't need to be Space Mountain every time. You want to see Buzz. You want to meet Ariel. Things like that you really want to do. Between those 5 to 7 days, you're going to be able to do it. Now, between those 5 to 7 days, you think to yourself, Michael, I can see more than just the parks. You're right, you can see those resorts, and you can see places like Disney Springs. And you're wondering to yourself, Michael, why do I want to see somewhere like Disney Springs? Well, more reasons than one. Great dining, great shopping, and a great experience. You don't need to come in and spend money at Disney Springs. You can just experience some of the atmosphere. Just say, hey, look at these, there's penguins right here made out of metal at Disney Springs. Just one example. Now, can you spend more time at Walt Disney World than 5 to 7 days? Absolutely. Again, I've been here for 5 months. I have not done it all. So you're always going to find something new if you can stay longer. But let's consider those 5 to 7 days. What would you do over the course of them, and what's the best way to organize them? them. Now, I've made many videos about how you should organize your days at Walt Disney World to make the most of them, and considering some of the construction that's going on right now to make it even more magical for us in the future, I feel like it's deserving of a very quick update. In the past, you may have thought of Hollywood Studios as a half-day park. It's no longer a half-day park, not even close. You may need a second day to experience all that Hollywood Studios has to offer, depending on the time of year. Rise the Resistance, Smuggler's Run, Tower of Terror, Rock and Roller Coaster, Slinky Dog Dash, the list goes on. The list goes on of amazing attractions that I highly recommend. So that's going to be at least a day, if not a day and a half. Epcot, on the other hand, has changed slightly, with some big improvements scheduled and a lot of construction going on at the time of filming and over the next few years. It has turned into a 3/4 day park, so you can do most of what Epcot has to offer in 3/4 of a day, and depending on the crowds, you could actually get it done in half a day. Then you have more time for something else. And my recommendation, if you're not park hopping, would be the Epcot resorts: Yacht Club, Beach Club, and Boardwalk. Magic Kingdom, you at least need a day, maybe a day and a half, possibly two. Magic Kingdom has always been a bigger park where you're going to need some more time to experience all that it has to offer. Animal Kingdom does have some fantastic attractions, and in my opinion is a full day park. You can find some extra time in the evening or early morning, depending on the crowd level. Again, that time of year really does help. If you're that low crowd time of year, you could accomplish everything by 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, and then make your way to a resort and have fun there, or maybe check out Disney Springs. For the sake of this video, let's say a day and a half at Magic, a day and a half at Hollywood Studios. That's 3 days, half a day at Epcot, and a full day at Animal Kingdom. That brings us to 4.5 days. Clearly, it is possible with the 3 to 4 days. If you want to try and hit everything in that time period, you can do it. But if you give yourself a little bit more flexibility, you don't have to wake up as early. You don't have to stay out as late. You can spend some time at Disney Springs, some of the resorts, experiencing more extra activities that aren't available in the parks. For example, the Circus Olay show, which will be opening very, very soon, is something extra that you couldn't find in the parks that you may really want to experience. Now, if you're the type that really does want to try to accomplish everything, and keep in mind I still haven't accomplished everything, so let's say you want to try to accomplish as much as possible. How many days would I recommend then? I would say 8 to 10 at that point. You're going to want 2 days at Magic, minimum a full day at Epcot. You'll definitely accomplish everything. Hollywood Studios, another 2. Animal Kingdom, you can get it done in a day. Then you've got Disney Springs, Typhoon Lagoon, Blizzard Beach. It goes on from there. So if you give yourself 8 to 10 days, you can accomplish a tremendous amount. I should also note that the more days you stay, the less you pay per day, especially if you're staying at a Disney resort. You're paying for the tickets kind of all at once. If you buy 10 days worth of tickets, it turns out to be like something like $30 per day rather than 3 days worth of tickets where it's maybe $85, $90 per day, just to give you some examples of why you may want to, instead of breaking trips into smaller ones, taking bigger trips. It can save you money. Now, one friend mentioned to me, Michael, if I was to park hop every single day and try and do Epcot in half a day and Animal Kingdom in half a day, could I cut my vacation in half and save some money? Is it possible? Absolutely. Absolutely. No question about it. Is it something that I recommend? I think that would make a magical first-time experience. Personally, no. I like to experience the parks one at a time, especially on vacation where it's just like, okay, I'm coming in, I'm going to experience everything that Epcot has to offer. It's an Epcot day. That's how I like to experience it. But if you do want to cut those days shorter and save a little bit of money, park hopping, totally viable option. Now, what if you have younger kids traveling with you? Do you need to schedule more or less time? That is such a difficult question, and I can see it from 2 perspectives. First, if you have a very young child traveling with you, perhaps too much of Disney might be a little bit overstimulating. I can totally understand that, but on the same point, perhaps a longer trip would make more sense, so you can take naps. Maybe it's a 10-year-old or a 9-year-old who says, I've got to go, I've got to see it all and do it all, and you can say, as the parent, you can say, no, you know, it's okay, we can sleep in, or we can take a nap midday because we'll be back again tomorrow. And having that, having that availability definitely would help. On that same point though, what if your child has to get back to school? It's a shorter weekend. In those situations, it can be very difficult to take more than, 4 days, 5 days at Disney, because maybe you have a 4-day weekend and you can take 1 or 2 days on the end of each side, and you don't really want to take off of school. If that's your situation, if that's what you're thinking about, I can totally understand it. And will that work? Can you see a lot of Disney in that time period? Absolutely, you can. More time's better, but if you only have 4 days, 4 full days, you can make it work. You can. Now let's get back to dining. If you want to try some table service restaurants with character meet and greets, and I do recommend them, that is going to take more time. That is going to take more time, I gotta tell you right now. Maybe you sit down at 5 o'clock and possibly won't be done till 8 o'clock. Honestly, it can take that long, but it's worth it. It's absolutely worth it, but it's something to consider when you're thinking about the length of your vacation. There are some amazing quick service restaurants at Walt Disney World. We're trying Deluxe Burger for the very first time tonight, and if you don't mind, you like quick service restaurants like I do, I really, really do, then that can save you a lot of time. So factors to weigh out. I'm super tempted by the seasonal offerings holiday turkey burger because it's only seasonal, but is that going to be my first impressions of Deluxe Burger? I'm gonna try a classic. I'm gonna go for the Southern Burger. It sounds amazing. It's just, it's first impressions. Barbecue, you've convinced me. You've convinced me. Let's do barbecue burger. For the very first time, Deluxe Burger, and we're trying the barbecue burger. Not the burger I was planning on getting, and it was actually a recommendation of the cast members behind the desk. They said, this is your first time, Michael, trying Deluxe Burger? And I said, yes, it is. They said, you're gonna wanna try barbecue. So I said, you know what, going with your suggestions, let's try barbecue. In addition to that, the extremely friendly and kind cast members gave me a milkshake. They love the content. They said, I really keep it up. It means a tremendous amount. Thank you so much. An Oreo milkshake. Can't wait to try that one, but burger first. Bon appetit. First bite impressions, so good. They were right. That barbecue sauce does something special. Need a second bite though. It's more than just the barbecue sauce. This burger is delicious. The onion ring, I think it's an onion ring in there. Lettuce, some other flavor in there. There's some secret sauce that I'm not thinking of. I can't put my finger on. But something in here tastes absolutely incredible. I have to admit, this is an amazing burger. This is up there. This is, I didn't realize, friends have been telling me for a while, Michael, Deluxe Burger, I didn't know. I'm sorry, I did not realize. This is really, really good. This is up there. I'm not trying to compare against Bison Burgers now, but this is worthy. After trying it, I can tell you, I would go out of my way for this one. I would. It's delicious. The flavors in there, fantastic, more than an average burger. Let's say it that way. It's really, really good. I do like it a lot. It could use just a tiny bit more. I'm thinking like a jalapeno, but I feel like I could probably ask for that at the desk as well. Just a tiny bit more flavor, but I really, really like this one. I would definitely get it again. Deluxe Burger, barbecue burger, super good. Now it's time for that Oreo milkshake. Cheers. Whoa, whoa, oh my gosh. I cannot believe I'm about to say what I'm about to say. This is one of the best milkshakes I've ever had at Disney. I don't know if the cast members just made it extremely well, but I am so glad I tried this. This is worth coming out of your way for. This is worth coming to Disney Springs for. I need a few more sips here. I had an amazing Oreo shake at Sci-Fi Dine-In Theater a few years ago. It was absolutely incredible, and I love the shakes from there. This is competitive with Sci-Fi. I'm not kidding. This is amazing. Oreo milkshake. I need to come back to Deluxe Burger for the burgers too, but the shake is just blowing me away here. I can only speak to the Oreo milkshake at the moment, but the Oreo milkshake from Deluxe is unbelievable. Out of this world. You want one of the best milkshakes that Disney has on property that I've tasted so far? Oreo milkshake from Deluxe. Wow. Overall, Deluxe has truly impressed me. Fantastic burger, amazing milkshake. Wow, super impressed by that. I will definitely be back. Deluxe Burger, I'm sorry I waited so long to try it. Really, really good. Yum. Now back to the topic of the day. These kind of experiences don't take as long to just eat here, enjoy, and then move on to your next fun activity. That being said, now that we're here for a little bit longer, I truly see the value in taking your time, appreciating the scenery around you, just appreciating everything around you at a slower pace. It's not always possible, and I get that. Maybe it's a shorter trip, maybe it's a once-in-a-lifetime experience, gotta make most of every moment. Totally understand that. I vacationed at Disney for years like that. But when possible, if possible, I recommend that slower pace. I feel like it adds. It's easy to see just from this discussion how much a Disney vacation can vary based on more factors than just how long you're here. I mean, the weather, the crowds, the type of dining experiences that you have can vary so much. Coming to Deluxe Burger and your vacation is totally different. Going to Ohana, your vacation has changed completely. So there are tons of factors, and in my opinion, no two Disney vacations are ever the same. So is there a certain amount of time that you have to be at Walt Disney World to have a great time? No. In my opinion, you can have a great time even if you are here for half a day. Honestly, you can. Preferably, you want to be here at least 3 or 4 days, and it would be amazing to be here for for 8 or 10 days, but if you can only be here for 1, maybe 2, you're still going to have a magical time. Now there's a whole nother factor that comes into play when you come to Walt Disney World during the holidays. You want to see a lot of these decorations. You want to experience more of the holidays have to offer. Maybe it's Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, or maybe you're here for just the parade. You want to see the parade on Main Street USA. You want to see more of the decorations around the resorts. You have to think about those things. You got to consider, what more do I want to do when I'm at Walt Disney World during the holiday season? What else? What else do I want to experience? Speaking of those extra special details, I smell something, it smells like pine almost in this area with the chandeliers above. Just in this area, there's an extra special smell. So it goes to show there's little details you're always capturing when you take a little bit slower. I really do feel like that helps. Don Black is playing the saxophone right here for the holidays. It sounds amazing to add to that vibe so much. Now with more time in the parks, it gives you more opportunities to find some of that special merchandise, like brand new Belle of the Ball bronze collection, like these ears right here, that color right there. It goes across to Spirit jerseys, hats. There's a shirt right up there. There are some ornaments, some mini Loungefly bags, which I've seen getting more and more popular all the time. Some larger, also Minnie Mouse, get it? Loungefly bags and more. This hat is very unique right here. You can see Walt Disney World all the way around with gold right there on the brim. Thinking about new things at Disney for a minute, even the most popular and new things come out super fast at Disney. So if there's something that you love, like The Mandalorian, more than likely you're going to find something for exactly what you love. Awesome, awesome, inside trendy. Those are my thoughts about how many days you want to have for your Walt Disney World vacation. Of course, the more the merrier, but even with 1 day, you are sure to have a magical time. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. How many days do you feel like you need on your Disney vacation? And be honest, with the more times you come to Walt Disney World, you feel like you want to stay longer and longer and longer? Let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. Thanks so much for being a part of the magic with me today. Until next time, have a magical day.